During the last general elections in 2009, the African Media Monitor found that gender issues only featured 1% in the election rhetoric. This is despite the fact that women constitute more than half of the country's population and more than half of the registered voters. Janine Hicks from the Commission on Gender Equality says after looking at a sample of party manifestos, they did a scan analysis of the main parties and found that none of them had mainstreamed gender in their manifestos.
The focus of their manifestos is on service delivery, but none of the parties seem to be articulating the fact that there are different needs within communities among men and women in relation to service delivery, and they're not setting out clear and specific objectives and reference to those, a recognition of what are some of the key issues at community level that impact women, and how do they as a party plan to do that.
She also added that service delivery means something different for women than men, as women have different needs than men. Lisa Vetten from the Toranang Legal Advocacy Centre says while there has been an increase in the number of female representation in Parliament, the situation on the ground has gotten worse for them. There has also been a decline in policies that would improve women's lives. Vetten says this is because it is difficult for women to fight for women's issues if they are not mainstreamed in the party's agenda.
The question we have to ask is, who are those women that parties are promoting? Are they women who will toe the same old patriarchal party line? And I think this question becomes more acute when we start to look at how female political representativity has increased in the National Assembly and amongst cabinet ministers, at the same time as we're seeing a decline in the quality of life for women on the ground and the substance of legislation and policy to improve women's lives. So the question is not just how many women are in those positions, but who are those women? What are they thinking?
Vetten further added that it's important to think of women not as one homogeneous group, but to identify their specific needs. She says some women are more at risk than others. Civil society will have to be louder in voicing the needs of women and making sure that their needs do not fall off the agenda, added Vetten.